Hello and welcome to I24 News Sports Weekend Edition with some of the best stories we had in our magazine this past week. We're coming to the end of the European football season, the time when titles are being won. It's not only the local championships, which usually go to the same big teams, but also the local cups. But it's a different story. This is the place for the smaller teams to make an impact. You will not find Paris Saint-Germain and Monaco in the French Cup final on Saturday. Juventus and Roma will be absent from the Italian Cup final, and Hull will play in the FA Cup final in Wembley. Why is the cup competition so magical? Lise Barenboim tries to answer.
The French Cup symbolizes the magic of football. It allows amateur clubs to play against the greatest, and such cases are scattered throughout the history of this competition. David sometimes managed to defeat the Goliaths, heavyweight clubs. Carquefou, Libourne and Calais have recently succeeded in doing just so.
On aime bien les belles histoires, les petits qui essaient de manger les...
We like the stories, the small ones trying to beat the big ones. It's always a great pleasure. We know very well that there will be popular support and a high expectation.
Over the past 20 years, 4 clubs from the CFA and National, the lowest levels of the French Championship, reached the final stages of the Cup. The US Quevilly team found itself in this exact scenario several times. In 2010, the club was the semi-finalist in the Coupe de France, but were unable to defeat PSG. A year later, Quevilly became the champion of its CFA group, but the team was at its best in 2012, when the players successively eliminated Angers, Marseille, and the Stade Rennais. The Normans made it to the finals at the Stade de France against Lyon, but lost 1-0.
We are a small amateur team. We did what we could on the field, nothing more. We are still a small team. We fought. We did not win. It was not unworthy.
The opportunity of a lifetime for the fans and the coach. Not bad for a town of only 26,000 people. In the rest of Europe, small clubs succeed as well, but they have less opportunities to meet the football giants than in France. In 2009, Alcorcón, a Spanish D3 team, humiliated Real Madrid, winning 4-0 in the 16th final of the Copa del Rey. An embarrassment Madrid coach Manuel Pellegrini has never really recovered from. In Germany, the third division teams sometimes reach the final of the Cup, as Hertha Berlin did. Over in England, the Cup is a true institution in football. In 2014, the small Wigan club eliminated Manchester City from the Cup in the quarter-finals before facing Arsenal, causing even Arsène Wenger to be very cautious before the game.
Opportunity, we play against a good opponent, and but it's a great challenge for us, and we want, of course, to take the opportunity to go into the final.
Same story for Sheffield United, a third division team that managed to beat Fulham and Charlton before losing to Hull City in the semi-finals.
I think playing a Premier League team is enough to make us.
But these games are historical accidents. The smaller teams are highly motivated. This is the game of their lives. It is also a revenge for footballers rejected by training centers, and league leaders are well aware of that.
With hard work, you may be able to pass.
Everyone is hoping to score a goal or 2 or 3.
We will not be a star tonight. We'll just play a game of football and try to win.
Big clubs get to play in rural stadiums in front of an excited audience. It's not always easy to win these trap games. Few small teams who successfully compete with the big guns stay for more than a season at the top. But during the French Cup, the magic is on full display for football lovers ready to enjoy the madness.
And with us in the studio is our football analyst, Yoav Borovic. Hi, Yoav.
Hi, Jonathan.
So, Yoav, let's take a look, for example, at the French Cup. Rennes against Guingamp, not PSG, not Monaco, not even Lyon or Lille, which are doing good this season. This is the magic of the Cup. Anything can happen.
The magic is the giant killers. As you said, the 2 French clubs, small clubs making it to the Cup final in Paris. You know, it's a huge event. We know the English Cup, the FA Cup, what a legendary event. You know, for many English clubs, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of clubs, small, amateurish, from the periphery. For them,
they make it every year. Every year, there's a story like this.
Exactly. You know, last year Wigan got relegated but won the cup. This year, Hull City.
Manchester City, one of the richest teams in the world.
We all remember over 20 years ago Wimbledon winning the cup. What a huge story that was. You know, the FA Cup used to be bigger than it is today, you know, because of the commercialization of football, and the big clubs, they play more in Europe, they care more about, there was one year that Manchester United did not even compete in the FA Cup. which for many of their fans and many of the English
Huge
fans was a
disappointment.
huge...
The FA Cup, that's the essence of English football.
Exactly, it is the essence of English football. We know that in the BBC in the morning of the FA Cup final, they say good morning. Today is the
Cup final. That's English football.
It is, and it's a legendary competition.
And you mentioned Wigan. They won it last year. They were relegated, and this year they beat Manchester City again. They lost to Arsenal in the semis, only in penalties. It seems like the cup draws their attention.
Yeah, for the clubs that are not the huge clubs, the top 4 or 5 clubs, the cup is a huge competition. You know, it's a pretty big competition for all clubs, but for them, the chance to make it to Wembley.
This is the chance to make it to the
and
headlines.
you need to understand, if they make it to Wembley, they get 50, 60,000 of their fans coming with them to London. Many of them do not even enter the stadium, but still making this great trip to London. Just a very romantic day, very romantic event. You know, this year, Hull City, you know, that's a club that never competes for anything. For them to make it to the cup final is something that happens like once every 30, 40, 50 years. Just a huge story.
Well, all this is coming up now in France, in Italy, and in England. Very interesting to see. Yoav Borovic, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was not a long time ago that Ferrari was the leading team in Formula One, winning titles and signing the best drivers. These days are far from stellar for the Italian maker, as they find it hard to adapt to the changes in the circuit, and seeing 4 teams ahead of them now in the rankings. Lise Barnbaum with a story.
Nothing seems to go well for the Scuderia team. For Ferrari, 2014 is so far a season of failures. The president of the Italian team, Luca di Montezemolo, realized that his team was in danger and took action. And it was Stefano Domenicali, the director of the sports management, who had to pay the price. After 23 years of loyal service, Domenicali, a man who had previously climbed the giant ladder to the top of the Ferrari regime, had to resign. In 2008, he took on the great responsibility of succeeding to the legendary Jean Todt as the general manager of the team. At the time, the team was celebrating its 16th title as Constructors' Champions. In 2009, Felipe Massa, the flagship driver of Ferrari, was seriously injured. He was replaced by Michael Schumacher, but he missed his comeback because of a motorcycle accident. The team then turned all its attention to their new champion, Fernando Alonso, but the Spaniard was barely ahead of the Red Bull team led by Sebastian Vettel. In 2014, the new team to beat was Mercedes, and Ferrari couldn't stop the Silver Arrow. This year's leading man on the circuit is Lewis Hamilton, who stood atop every podium.
I really felt a lot of energy, but I really couldn't do this without all the hard work from the team. It's incredible.
The Italian team is betting on its new hybrid V6 turbo in order to reach the top again, yet the Italian motor seems to be lacking some power. The Scuderia misfired with the hybrid change, and drivers were well aware of it.
Obviously the rules has changed since last year, so things has changed a little bit, but it's still the fuel consumption will be very crucial.
This season has started off poorly for Ferrari. After races in Melbourne, Bahrain, and Malaysia, the team has still not managed to win, dropping them to the 5th place in the rankings. With only 33 points, the team is far behind its rivals.
We know that we have a strong competition with Mercedes, with Red Bull, with some top teams, and we will try to do better.
Tasked with replacing Domenicali, Ferrari decided to promote internally, and Marco Mattiazzi, director of the North American division, was chosen. Mattiazzi is considered as a marketing expert, yet he never managed a team. This is a true gamble, but even though he's new at the helm, he started rather well. Alonso clinched 3rd place in the Grand Prix of China, handling Ferrari its first podium in 2014.
It was a good weekend. We did improve the car a little bit compared to the first 3 races, so we felt more competitive.
The new director already has many projects in mind, including creating an electroshock. But beforehand, his first project is improving the timelines, as he intends to tackle a slow bureaucracy and put pressure on suppliers to produce the parts faster. Another strategic change is having less consultants and in-house expertise, and Ferrari's drivers are giving their new boss all the time he needs to get the ball rolling.
I think we need to give him time and try to see how he settles down. It's too early to say if he will be very good or will be very bad.
With a new director and a new organization, it may be the beginning of a revolution at Ferrari.
Now to the US, and everybody was waiting to see how the NBA would respond to the racist comments coming from Clippers owner Donald Sterling. many people were skeptical, saying the league would prefer a political solution with just light punishment. But the new commissioner, Adam Silver, in his first serious test, sent a clear message: Donald Sterling is banned from the NBA for life. His decision was widely hailed. The next step will probably be forcing Sterling to sell the Clippers. Mirav Savir with the story.
Effective immediately, I am banning Mr. Sterling for life from any association with the Clippers organization or the NBA.
Banned for life. In his first major challenge as the commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver took a stand and shocked the world with his punishment for Clippers owner Donald Sterling after tape surfaced of him making racist remarks. Sterling will not be allowed to attend any NBA games or practices, be present at any Clippers facility, or take part in any business or personnel decisions involving the team. He will also be fined $2.5 million, the maximum allowed under the NBA Constitution, and will not be allowed to attend Board of Governors meetings. Further, the commissioner said he will urge the Board of Governors to use its power to force him to sell the team. And while Silver stood addressing journalists, the world already began reacting on social media, with comments coming from current players, previous players, analysts, fans. Everyone had something to say. And right in the middle of it was Magic Johnson, the man who was unwillingly caught in the scandal and was proud of the stance taken by the NBA.
It's a great day. It's a great day for, the United States. It was a great day for the NBA. It was a great day for all people of all races, but especially, African Americans, Latinos, who, he was speaking out against. And so I think that I'm just happy that Commissioner Adam Silver came down hard and showed that we can't let people get away with this, and even if you're an owner.
The scandal took a toll on the Clippers Association. The players staged a silent protest before their game against the Warriors on Sunday, but during the game, anyone could see the Sterling saga was taking its toll, and they lost 118-97. But now that the ban has been established, the Clippers can breathe again.
This last, 3 or 4 days have been very difficult for everybody involved, and no matter what the race is, it's been difficult. And I thought Adam Silver today was fantastic. Personally, I thought he made a decision that really was the right one that had to be made. I think they were just happy that it was a resolution and it's over, at least the start of it to be.
On Tuesday night, right after Silver made his announcement, the Clippers website showed the world they are whole again, with a full black page saying, "We are one."
And joining us now is I-24 News reporter Danny Swibel. Hi, Danny.
How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. Danny, we all hail Adam Silver, of course, but it seems like with all the noise around, could he have done anything else?
I don't think so. This was a personal test for this new NBA commissioner, and so he had to take this uncompromising stand. And a fine of $2.5 million might seem like a lot to us, but to a billionaire, it's maybe not that much. So banning him for life was his only way of being uncompromising.
And if this would have happened 10 years ago, perhaps we wouldn't even hear of this, because all this surfaced like anything else these days in social media. 10 years ago, there was no social media. Maybe things like this happened, but we never knew about them.
Yeah, I can't imagine we would have heard about the story. The recording wouldn't have been all around, all online for all of us to listen to, all of us to get the full context of it. We'd have heard about it kind of secondhand. So yeah, now it's that kind of age where when you say certain things, you are going to be held accountable for them, especially when you're in a position where Donald Sterling is in. He's the owner of one of a very, in a big league like the NBA, and so he's being held accountable right now.
And we saw in the report, the Clippers had a very, very hard time in Game 4 with all this happening. At Game 5, happening just hours after the decision, suddenly the team exploded.
Yeah, now they bounced back. It's nice to see that they're persevering again on their website, We Are One. It's a really nice message that they're trying to put out there. And a lot of the other NBA teams have definitely shown their support. I don't know if you saw the picture of Benny the Bull saying, "My owners love me, even though I'm red." So a lot of people throughout the NBA are showing their support. And I think in the end, everybody's pretty happy with this decision.
Now, Donald Sterling will probably be out soon. We have quite an interesting list of people perhaps replacing him.
It's quite a big list, an impressive list, I might add, as well. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, actor Billy Crystal, some real estate tycoons like Rick Caruso.
Magic Johnson,
Magic Johnson,
perhaps even he the fact that he was in the game that started this whole thing.
It's really nice to see, and I hope these owners definitely put a lot of love and passion into this team. The NBA is filled with 70% of players. 70% of players are black in the NBA, and the thing is, happens to be that a lot of the owners are white. So it'd be nice to see that it's like, listen, you know, black people aren't the slaves of white owners. Listen, this is an all-inclusive league with respect, and I hope that the new leadership will provide that.
Yeah, and we should not see Michael Jordan as the only, perhaps, black owner in the league. Danny Zweibel, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And that's it for our weekend edition. Don't forget you can watch us anytime on our website at i24news.tv. We're also on Facebook and on Twitter. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.